The following is intended only for mature audiences.
Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's J-Man. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm J-Man.
This is Steiny.
Hello there. And now we get to part 3 of the series where I talk shit about a guy I worked with for like 19 months, and he's been gone for a while now, but it's therapeutic to diss him, and I'm trying to exorcise the demons, so to speak. So here we go. A little more here. He loves Tom Brady.
Oh, who doesn't?
He claims to be just elite at playing Madden football.
Oh, that's a transferable skill. That's what's known in the adult world as a transferable skill.
Yeah, and then he is very, very into fantasy football.
Oh,
but
he talks about it a bunch too, huh?
Yeah, but more than anything, he's a bowler.
It's a dying skill.
He's a really good bowler.
Yeah, we need more of those.
He said once, and I quote, "When I'm on the lanes, it's where I feel the most at peace in life."
I bet you he said that thinking it would sound cooler than it really did.
Yeah, it kind of made my blood run cold for a second there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, tell me you're not good at everything else and that I should be concerned. Because, how does this relate? Oh my God. So he's a league bowler. He takes it very seriously.
I bet.
And maybe 6-7 months ago, he got kicked off his bowling team. They just had it with him.
Oh, what did he do?
Some lady was being distracting while he was bowling, and he got way too uppity and yelled at her for making too much noise and being distracting.
He's a spaz.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very much so, yes. And I'm sure that after he yelled at her and the team kicked him off, he fucking told people this. And I'm like, you shouldn't tell people this. Because you're playing the victim and you're not. Because this just makes you seem like a maniac who takes bowling way too seriously. It's bowling.
Right.
It's fucking bowling.
To be honest with you, this wasn't the first time. This was the last straw, too. You know this wasn't the first incident. They go, oh, we better kick him off the team. No, this was multiple incidents like this, and that was the final one.
Yeah, let me reinforce that theory by you. He was on another bowling team earlier in the year.
Okay.
There was a guy on the team that was an alternate when they needed him.
Uh-huh.
They chose to bring the alternate on full-time and get rid of Bubbles.
Absolutely.
He's like, I don't understand. I'm a way better bowler than him. And I'm like, maybe they just like him better personality-wise.
It's about the fit, yeah.
Jesus, could it be that you stink and you spit when you fucking talk because you got no front teeth to stop the saliva from going everywhere, and you're scratching your itchy fucking BO pits, and you smell like fucking Sanch all the time, you disgusting motherfucker.
Well, the thing is, too, is if you're on a team, you're usually 4 guys, right? And if you're right in the middle of the league and all this guy does is bring you up a couple notches, and you could have somebody else that's a lot more fun that's maybe not as good, and you drop a couple notches, who cares, right?
Or if you just are sick of him saying weird, creepy shit and thinking everybody's his friend when they're not.
Yeah, or keep calling you ugly or something like that, or saying you scream like a girl.
Yeah. He's a wrestling fan.
Sergeant
Slaughter is his all-time favorite wrestler.
Oh, so we're going old school.
Yeah.
Like when we grew up.
Yeah. And he told me this, and I shit you not, he follows up that revelation with, I'm not going to get into why, but he's my favorite of all time, so don't ask me about it. I'm not going to tell you. And I'm just like, what a bunch of unnecessary fucking background information.
Well, then his life is a lie, too, because he's not really a wrestling fan if you haven't followed wrestling since you were like...
Oh, he still does, avidly, but just he had to give me that extra bit of weird,
really? Okay.
Kind of dangle the carrot, but not let me take a bite type of exposition.
You sure it wasn't so he could just have, you could ask him, so you could ask him about it and he would open up?
I'm not falling for that shit.
Yeah, I know.
I've done it too many times.
I resist as well. Yeah.
He has tickets to WrestleMania this year in Philadelphia. And he's like, I'm so excited to go. I'm crossing it off my bucket list, going to WrestleMania. I'm like, it's in Philly. He's like, yeah, so I'm like, Philly's Philly, dude. It's fucking a shithole full of shitty people. Yeah. They're ugly. They're mean. You better fucking watch your back while you're there.
Stinks out there.
He'll fit right in.
Yeah.
But now he quit this job to go get a new job. Most jobs you can't use PTO for 90 days. He's right there. He's got a razor-thin margin of error being able to go to WrestleMania in April. Hopefully he didn't fuck himself, but if he did...
Well, hopefully he cleared that beforehand. You know what I mean? Like one of those things, hey, I'm excited to work here, but I do have something that's going to happen before I get to take PTO.
Yeah. Let's go back to his son.
Yeah.
My son.
He had a picture of his son
My son.
that he kept not in his locker, on his locker, on the outside.
Oh, so everybody was forced to look at it.
Yes. Thank you for being astute enough to pick up on the fact that he just wanted people to tell him what a cute kid he had as a conversation starter.
Yep.
Which I never made a comment about his son's appearance at all. In fact, I almost got to the point where I wanted to be like, can we make it a rule that all pictures and everything must be in the locker? Because people are making fun of this kid, and it's going to get back to him, and he's going to have a fucking meltdown, and we never know what's going to fucking happen.
Yep.
Because we also had a contest to bring in a cute picture of your pet. He brought in a picture of his dog that lives with his wife, not with him.
Okay.
The picture of the dog also has the son, as a baby, laying next to him. The kid's eyes aren't open. It looks like there's a dead baby next to a fucking bulldog. Or boxer, whatever it is. I shit you not. We all got so fucking weirded out. Like, he had to bring in the picture of the dog with the son.
My son.
Just to show off his son.
My son.
And the kid looked dead. I'm like, why is there a picture of a fucking stillborn on his locker?
Right.
What the fuck? Like, when is somebody going to sit there and, like, untie this damsel in distress from the tracks that is his psyche?
Well, was he trying to score brownie points to have his kid in the picture too? Think it would be cuter for the cute pet contest or cute animal contest?
Fucking probably.
Yeah.
I once made a joke about his hygiene. I'm like, if that motherfucker got in a bathtub and sat there for 5 minutes, that water would turn brown like you dropped 2 beef bouillon cubes in that shit. It's basically like he's a human teabag.
Yeah.
And all the filth and just gross just goes into the water. And you know how the water gets cloudy when your kid's like dirty from playing outside too much? Imagine not bathing for 3 or 4 days and then sitting in a tub.
I can do one better for you.
Oh, God.
Well, no, there's a reason. So when I broke my leg, post-surgery, it was very hard to get around. And I wasn't going to have anybody come over and bathe me. And when I lived at that house, I mainly slept and stayed upstairs, but our bathroom with the shower and bathtub was downstairs. And so it was hard that first week to even get down there to try to get half in the tub to try to bathe myself.
Yeah.
When I did, I could just literally run my hand like this along my skin, and it would just roll up, just
flakes.
Yeah, skin, dirt, grime, everything.
Gross.
So yeah, it is disgusting. You have to bathe on a regular basis. We're meant to bathe.
Now, talking about his son
My son.
leads us to talking about his girlfriend that I started calling New Mommy. The joke was, New Mommy, I'm going to go see Daddy and New Mommy. This woman lived far away. I'm not going to say where. She lived like an hour away.
This wasn't the TV. And
This is a
Blu-ray
different
player.
chick.
Oh wow, he really gets around, man.
He does.
Where does he find him?
I don't know, but she looked like she was older and a cancer patient.
It's got to be on cancer boards then, support boards or
I
something.
don't know. She was a teacher.
And lonely then.
Very.
Yeah.
They get along, and like he's talking about after only like 2 months, they're going to move in together.
Sweet.
I'm like, Jesus H. Christ. He's like, I don't know if like, it's more likely that she'll move here more than I'll move there. I'm like, move there, move there. So she sold her house and bought a house here. Yeah.
Where was she a teacher then? Did she just give up the job or is she retired?
Yes, and then she got a job here.
Is this for real? Is he like, these aren't stories?
I don't know. We never met her.
Okay.
I know her name. I'm not going to say it, but she has a name and a backstory. She has a child who's in college. She once took him to go meet the kid at the college. I'm like, imagine your mom says, I have a new boyfriend.
Right.
And this motherfucker gets out of the car.
Right. This is the homeless guy you picked up on the way here, Mom?
Yeah, like, I know that you're lonely, but stop blowing bums.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Hadouken! So they're living together. And this will be 2 stories now. Something happens between them. And he feels the need to fill our boss in on this, like he wants to give it another shot with his wife. He went back and forth between New Mommy and Mommy.
Okay.
It was confusing. But then he mentioned that they weren't together. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, we don't like sleep together. I'm like, are you guys together? He's like, well, I sleep in the spare bedroom because there's bunk beds that we have for my son.
My son.
And I'm like, he's a 41-year-old man and he sleeps in a fucking bunk bed. Oh my God, this does not get any better. I have to go tell everyone this right fucking now, which I did.
I hope he takes the top bunk and he's got that limited space between him and the ceiling.
Yeah, because his son's like
Oh my god.
3.
Yeah, has to use the lower bunk.
Plus, that fucking the heat rises with that scent. So imagine going to stay at Daddy's house, and then it fucking stinks like balls. Like, first off, he's your dad. That sucks. And second off, you're fucking sharing a bunk bed with your grown man of a father. Yeah. And I'm picturing him wearing fucking footy pajamas with a poop flap so he can be pooping and warm.
Right?
But you can't make this shit up, dude.
You know, we all hit kind of highs and lows within our life, and sometimes you'll find yourself in an interesting, situation or a spot where you're like, couldn't see this one coming, but...
Bunk beds.
Exactly, man. Wow. Poor...
Oh, Jesus. Titty fucking
low.
Christ.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
So then I was like, well, I guess that beats my idea of him having like a fucking football helmet or a race car bed.
Yeah.
Like a Patriots football helmet bed for Tom Brady. He just fucking jerks his meat.
Yeah. Number 12 everywhere.
Yeah. I've already explained beef stew, but there's also other foods like new mommy back, come and nibble my pussy lips. It's as thick like tapioca. You come get some, Bubbles. Come and taste some of mama's brown sugar. New mommy loves you, baby. A lot of the jokes revolved around sex and food.
Okay.
It's my milieu.
Yeah. No, in the way you have described him eating, I'm sure it's quite the train wreck.
Yeah. Bowling. He loves bowling.
Yeah.
Last spring, we had a bowling event sponsored through work.
Oh, I bet he was pumped.
He was.
He was going to show off his skills.
He was going to make us all look so bad until they said no kids allowed.
My son!
And then the bottom fell out of his psyche, and he threatened to sue.
Oh, my God. Because he couldn't bring his kid?
Yeah, because he couldn't bring his son to show him off, basically. He didn't say that. I'm telling you, that's what I know his thought process was.
Couldn't he have had somebody else bring his kid and just have the kid be there?
I don't know.
Him?
I don't know. But they said no kids allowed because it's a bowling alley with 4 bars in it. We're not doing that. People want to drink and have a good time. We don't have to worry about kids.
Right.
And everybody else is like, cool. And I'm like, I don't have to bring any of my kids.
Sweet.
Fucking awesome.
Yes, everybody's excited because, get away from the kids.
But I cannot stress enough that he flipped out, threw a tantrum, complained to management, mentioned litigation, and then the weeks leading up to it, he was just sour. And anytime he got brought up, he just fucking walk away.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he wasn't going to let that one go.
No. Just like our company picnic a few months later.
Okay.
Where they said, kids are welcome, but just so you know, we're not going to tell people that they can't drink because it's in a public park. And he's like, I don't drink and I don't appreciate people drinking alcohol around kids. I can't even bring my son. I'm not going to this. And we're like, good, don't bring your son. Just don't fucking show up. That's even better.
Wow, wait a minute. So he was willing to bring his kid to a bowling alley where there was nothing but bars, right? Nothing but alcohol being served.
Yes.
But at a public park, he wouldn't bring his kid around people drinking.
I don't know. Maybe it was a way to get out of the fact that there might have been a lake to dip in and he didn't want to have to wash his skin. Yeah. Like the two of them, we would joke that they would take baths together. And that when his son would, I made up the joke. I'm like, he's probably like a fucking, is it cats or dogs that eat their baby's shit when they're first born? The mom dog will eat the puppy's poop for some reason so they're not making a mess. And I just pictured him like fucking eating his son's diapers. Yeah. Or them taking a bath together and fucking playing with boats and shit. Oh, God. That monster truck show I went to with the fam.
Yep.
He mentioned, he's like, yeah, I'm sure looking forward to this date. And I'm like, why? What's that? And I'm like, no. He's like, I'm taking my son to the Hot Wheels monster truck show. I'm like, fuck. I don't know why I said this.
Do not mention you were going.
Oh, I'm taking my son to the monster truck show.
Oh, why would you say that?
I don't know. It's just like as soon as the words came out of my mouth, I wanted to grab them out of the air, but I couldn't because the toothpaste was out of the tube.
Oh,
He's like, oh, what day you going?
It sucks when your natural conversationalist comes out before you can rein it in, and you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, what show, what day? Because there's 2 days, 3 shows.
So
I'm like, oh, we're going to the Saturday at 7:30. He's like, I'm going to the Saturday at 7:30. I'm like, fuck!
You should have asked which one he was going to first. Damn it.
And then he's like, oh, what section are you sitting in? I'm like, it's right in the middle. It might be like 131. He's like, I'm in 131. I'm like, no. Well, it might be 110 or 111. It ends in a 1. I was in 111. He was in 131.
Oh, thank God.
I went there. I was nervous about seeing him. Didn't see him.
Was that at the bank?
No, it was at Target Center.
Oh, okay.
It was a small one that sucked ass.
Yeah.
And that's why we're going to Monster Jam now. because I feel like I robbed my children of the real experience
Right.
by
So
attending a toy commercial.
basically turning inside of a hockey rink is what they do inside the Target Center.
They were trying to do like wheelies and spins, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I can watch assholes do this anywhere where there's street racing.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. So anyways, I guess he went to the event with his dad. His dad, who he had once upon a time told us wasn't in his life, and then his grandparents adopted him.
Oh, that's great. They reconciled.
Yeah, but then like I asked about him, like, wait, I thought your dad wasn't in your life. He's like, he's been back in my life for like ever, dude. Like, you said he wasn't in your life. He's like, yeah, early on, but like he was the officiant at my wedding. I'm like, oh boy. He's like, I want to have these memories with my dad and my son before my dad dies. I'm like, oh, he's like, because his health's not too good. I'm like, oh, here we go.
My son.
You know, he's got heart failure and kidney dialysis stuff, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Can I offer him a wire coat hanger or like an electrical cord?
Do you think it's from you? I would have asked.
How do you give somebody kidney failure?
Well, I don't know. You can just credit a lot of stuff to him.
Like a broken heart is one thing, but like congestive heart failure from your son being such a... I can't imagine the dad's any bit better than him. In fact, he might be like fat as fuck, diabetic, and drive around on a rascal scooter if pictures are to be believed.
The way your mom guilt trips, you can't imagine she would try to blame kidney failure on one of her kids? Oh, well, that was weird.
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
I just had this weird nerve spasm up the front of my shin. I've never had anything like that. And this is the one with the hardware in it, not this one. That was weird.
Well, I hate to be this guy, but big deal. It's not like you had a cramp that fucking put the show on a 5-minute hiatus because you could barely walk. And it came back twice, and it felt like a golf ball sized knot in your fucking hamstring.
Did I tell you about playing soccer this last fall, though, when I have my calf and that muscle on the front of your shin cramp up at the same time? So I couldn't stretch it either way because then the other side would cramp up. So it was just
That sounds miserable.
agony for like 15 minutes.
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
Because you're like, I have to get this cramp out. I have to figure this out. I have to keep going through pain and trial and error. It's like when you have to take a poop, but you know it's too big. So it starts to come out and it hurts, so you kind of squeeze and put it back in. You're like, wait, no. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. This has to come out. Oh, God. How am I going to... Okay. And then you spend like 2 minutes trying to talking to yourself like, it's going to hurt, but it's only going to hurt for a little bit, and then it's going to be done. It's kind of like if you know you're going to get raped, I think, in prison.
That's the same sentiment you're going with? Okay, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time you're raped. This would be all the subsequent times that you're raped.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Because they usually don't just do it one time.
Well, you got a long time. I'm sure you're going to be in there.
Yeah.
It's prison.
Yeah, they're real rapey.
Yeah, and once you get raped once, you're probably going to get raped again.
Like, motherfucker, that was good. Thanks for being so sweet. I'm going to come get some more of that later.
And what sucks is you either have to be the raper or the rapee, right?
I don't think they're into taking turns.
No, what I'm saying is you are either one who gets raped or you rape others, right? Like, yeah. So either way, I can't imagine this good outcome.
That'll do it for part 3. Don't forget to come back to hear more stories about the mental case I thankfully no longer work with that we called Bubbles. Same time, same channel, whenever you listen to it. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm J-Man.
This is Steiny.
And that's the end.